Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here at Canada's largest port. More than $1 billion of goods move through this port every single day. And in fact, when you look at the capacity of Port of Vancouver, it's bigger than the capacity of the next 5 biggest ports in Canada combined. But within the next decade, it's not going to be enough. And it's certainly not going to be enough if we're going to grow this economy, become stronger, more independent, more diversified, trade more with Asia and other parts of the world, which is what our intentions to do. So we're looking through the Major Projects Office at expanding this port. But one of the things, if you expand the port, everything's connected. So expanding the port requires increasing the capacity and the efficiency of our rail system. It also means working to enhance some of our exports.
What happens when Canada decides it will no longer rely solely on the United States of its economic survival? A massive multi-billion-dollar announcement has just hit the headlines, and it completely changes the game for trade across North America. Welcome back to Joshu Reaction. I am Frank John, and if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe our channel. To all my dedicated viewers across from USA and Canada, thank you for joining me today and our faith, and we are firmly stand that in God we trust. Let us look directly at the facts without any hype. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney held a major press conference at the Port of Vancouver to announce a historic national infrastructure project. Facing heavy tariff threats and economic pressure from Donald Trump's administration in Washington, Canada is officially moving to diversify its global trade routes. This is not just a standard government project, it is a direct strategic effort to build economic independence. At the center of this strategy is a federal investment exceeding $10 billion dedicated to expanding the Port of Vancouver. As Canada's largest port, Vancouver serves as the main gateway to Asian and global shipping markets. The primary goal of this expansion is to increase Canada's non-US exports by more than 50%. The plan funds major upgrades to container terminals, rail capacity, and energy transport systems connected to the port. By increasing rail efficiency and cargo capacity, Canadian products like agriculture, canola, minerals, and energy can move directly to international buyers without needing approval or passing through US trade channels. Officials estimate that this mega project will generate tens of thousands of new Canadian jobs in construction, transport, and logistics. To understand why this timing matters, we have to look at the ongoing tension between Washington and Ottawa, with President Donald Trump threatening heavy tariffs on Canadian goods entering the American market. Canadian leaders are treating infrastructure as a tool of economic self-defense. For decades, the United States has been Canada's largest single trade partner by a wide margin. However, constant trade friction, tariff threats, and shifting US trade policies have exposed how risky that heavy reliance can be. By opening faster, high-capacity trade corridors directly to Asia and Europe, Canada aims to protect its national economy against future trade shocks or sudden policy changes coming from the White House. Another critical piece of this project involves local partnerships within Canada. The federal government is working directly alongside First Nations communities and provincial leaders to ensure environmental approvals and land agreements move forward smoothly. This project also connects directly with Western energy expansion and agriculture supply chains. By strengthening internal trade links between Western provinces and coastal ports, Canada is attempting to build a long-term wall of economic resilience. The message from Canadian policymakers is simple. While cooperation with the United States remain important, Canada will build its own trade paths to secure its financial future. My final verdict is straightforward. Mark Carney's $10 billion Port of Vancouver expansion is a clear signal that Canada is serious about lowering its economic vulnerability to Donald Trump's trade policies. While building global trade routes takes time and massive resources, expanding direct access to Asian markets is a practical step toward true economic independence. Now, I want to hear from all of you. Do you think Canada's $10 billion push into Asian markets will effectively counter Donald Trump's tariff pressure? How do you see this decision affecting US-Canada trade relations over the next few years? Drop your comments and honest thoughts down below. Let's start a solid discussion. Thank you so much for watching Joshu Reaction. Stay informed, stay blessed, and always I said, in God we trust. God bless America, God bless Canada, and I'll see you in the next breakdown. Take care, talk soon. Bye-bye.